Very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Let us start the news bulletin with the top headlines. Election Commission says Prime Minister Modi's remarks at a Wardha rally on Rahul Gandhi's candidature from Wayanad did not violate Code of Conduct. Prime Minister to address rallies in UP, MP and Rajasthan today. Amid increasing incidents of violence, a security tightened for 10 BJP candidates in West Bengal. Amit Shah to campaign in West Bengal and Delhi. Rajnath Singh, Arvind Kejriwal in Delhi. Rahul Gandhi to canvass for votes in UP, MP. SP, BSP, RLD rally in Barabanki in Uttar Pradesh. Cyclone Fani intensifies into extremely severe cyclonic storm to cross Odisha coast by Friday afternoon. Navy, Coast Guard, NDRF teams deployed. Army Air Force put on alert. IMD red alert for heat wave in central India. Temperature soared to 47 degrees in Nagpur and Amravati. Delhi records hottest day of the season on Tuesday at 43 degrees. And UNSC sanctions committee to discuss listing of Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood as a global terrorist. After blocking the move 4 times, China refuses to give any timeline on the resolution of the issue. First up, let's get you all the election-related news. The Election Commission has given a clean chit to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his speech in Wardha in Maharashtra. In the speech on 1st of April, Prime Minister Modi had slammed Congress chief Rahul Gandhi for contesting from Wayanad. The Election Commission said that in this matter, no such violation has been noticed after examining the speech in detail in accordance with the guidelines of the Model Code of Conduct, Representation of the People Act and also the report of the Chief Electoral Officer of Maharashtra. Earlier this month, the Congress party had approached the Election Commission seeking action against the Prime Minister's speech. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a campaign tour of 3 states today. He will lead the BJP's campaign in Uttar Pradesh, in Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan. Prime Minister Modi will first address his first rally of the day in Ambedkar Nagar in Uttar Pradesh, followed by a rally in Kaushambi. Kaushambi will go to polls in the 5th phase on 6th of May, while Ambedkar Nagar will vote in the 6th phase. And in Madhya Pradesh, Prime Minister Modi will hold an election rally in Hoshangabad. 7 Lok Sabha seats in Madhya Pradesh, including Hoshangabad, will vote in the 5th phase. And Prime Minister Modi will also address public rally in Rajasthan's capital, Jaipur. Jaipur will vote in the 5th phase on 6th of May. And our colleague Navikram Singh is now joining us live from Lucknow. Very good morning, Navikram. So Lucknow is one of those, 3 VIP seats along with Amethi and Raebareli that is going to polls in the 5th phase. And BJP, of course, has not lost Lucknow seat since 1991. It elected Atal Bihari Vajpayee for a record 5 times. Of course, last time Rajnath Singh won. He's seeking re-election. Tell us about the election mood there.
ऐश्वर्या, लखनऊ वाकई में बेहद दिलचस्प सीट है और बीजेपी की विरासत जो लंबे अरसे से रही है, अटल जी की जो विरासत है वो लखनऊ मानी जाती है। तो राजनाथ सिंह यहाँ से गृह मंत्री खुद बीजेपी की तरफ से उम्मीदवार हैं। वहीं आपको याद होगा कि बड़े लंबे अरसे तक सपा और बसपा गठबंधन में, साथ ही कांग्रेस में प्रत्याशी तक घोषित नहीं कर पाए थे इस सीट पर। हालांकि वो बिल्कुल आखिरी वक्त में यहाँ प्रत्याशी कांग्रेस की तरफ से और सपा बसपा गठबंधन की तरफ से घोषित हुए। तो लखनऊ में जो चुनावी अगर इतिहास पर गौर करें तो लखनऊ लगातार 91 से बीजेपी के खाते में ये सीट जाती रही है और अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जो पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री हैं थे उनके प्रति यहाँ की जनता में बेहद लगाव दिखाई देता है। अगर आप जो अक्सर माना जाता है कि अल्पसंख्यक वोट बीजेपी को नहीं मिलते हैं, लेकिन अगर आप लखनऊ में देखेंगे तो बड़ी संख्या में अल्पसंख्यक हों या फिर वो किसी भी जाति से ताल्लुक़ रखने वाले हों, यहाँ बीजेपी के प्रति एक लगाव दिखाई देता है लखनऊ में, जो कि जिसका फ़ायदा राजनाथ सिंह जो गृह मंत्री हैं उन्हें मिल सकता है। देखिए, सबसे दिलचस्प ये है कि जो 5वें चरण में यहाँ पर मतदान होना है ऐश्वर्या, उसमें सबसे जो हाई प्रोफाइल सीट मानी जा रही हैं वो अमेठी, रायबरेली और लखनऊ ही हैं। यहाँ पर सबकी निगाहें टिकी होंगी, जहाँ एक तरफ अमेठी, रायबरेली जो कांग्रेस का गढ़ माने जाते हैं, 2014 में मोदी लहर के बावजूद भी अमेठी और रायबरेली सीट बचाने में सफल हुई थी कांग्रेस, वहीं बीजेपी के लिए भी लखनऊ सीट उसी तरीके से प्रतिष्ठा का प्रश्न है। जी,
right.
ऐश्वर्या,
thank you so much Navikram for joining us and giving us all the updates from Lucknow there. And from UP, let's go on to West Bengal, where 10 BJP candidates contesting elections from the state have been accorded security by the centre for a limited period of time. Now, the decision was taken by the Election Commission after Union Minister Babul Supriyo's car was vandalized in Asansol during the fourth phase of elections. The VIP security cover will be provided to BJP candidates now. BJP candidates who will be given security cover include Anupam Hazra, who is contesting polls from Jadavpur, Arjun Singh, who is the BJP candidate from Barakpur, Union Minister and candidate from Durgapur, SS Aluwalia, and other candidates include Siddharth Shekhar Das and Shantanu Thakur. All the political leaders getting security cover in the state will be provided armed commandos till the elections get over, and the security will be withdrawn by the end of May. And the Election Commission has also decided to conduct remaining phases of Lok Sabha polls in West Bengal under the vigil of central security forces after several reports of clashes were reported during voting in the earlier phases. An electioneering is intensifying ahead of the fifth phase of Lok Sabha polls. BJP chief Amit Shah will address 4 rallies in West Bengal today. He will address election rallies in North 24 Pargana district. He will also hold an election rally in Jalmat in Havra district and Arambagh in Hooghly district as well. All right, Panchanan Mishra, our colleague, is joining us live from Hooghly in West Bengal. Very good morning, Panchanan. Panchanan, West Bengal has been witnessing the most bitter and, campaigning, and some violent incidents, of course, have been reported in all the phases so far. But good voting percentage has also been recorded. For the fifth phase, we understand that the central forces coverage is going to be given, and 7 constituencies are going to the polls in the state. So tell us more about the mood there ahead of the fifth phase of elections.
Yes, Aishwarya, it is true that there was a poll-related violence in last 4 phases in West Bengal. However, the paramilitary forces were managed to control it, but there were several incidences in different Lok Sabha constituencies, and we have seen in 4th phase where in Asansol, Babul Supriyo's car was attacked, and in another seats like Birbhumi, there was many poll-related violence. So after this, Election Commission has now decided that there will be 100% deployment of central paramilitary forces. Till now, we have seen that there were West Bengal police was also there in many booths, and they were guarding the booth. But after this violence, which was so much intense in some polling booths, so now it has been decided that there will be 100% paramilitary forces deployment. And we have seen the differences when this paramilitary forces came. Because people were saying that, the voters were saying that in last election, 2014 also, and in Panchayat election, which was a horrific experience for the voters, yes. They said that now this time under the guardship of paramilitary forces, they are now looking more comfortable, and the fear is quite less. But the fear is still there. So the decision of paramilitary forces deployment has taken by the Election Commission. And as we talk about the mood of the people, you can easily see when you come in West Bengal, then there is a sense of fear among voters. They are not vocal. They don't come on camera to talk about their issues, their grievances about the government or the different thing. But they are looking silent, and they are voting in very good numbers. As we have seen in last phase, the fourth phase, there was an increased percentage of voting in comparison to 2014. So West Bengal is voting very good, but the fear was there. So Election Commission and the government is also trying to rectify it. Aishwarya?
Absolutely, and central forces are going to be deployed in the fifth phase of election on all the constituencies that are voting. Thank you so much, Panchanan, for all those updates there from West Bengal. And moving on, well, BJP Chief Amit Shah will also address poll rally at Vasant Kunj in Delhi in support of the BJP candidate Ramesh Biduri and Meenakshi Lekhi. And Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh will address a rally at Shastri Park in Delhi in support of the BJP candidates Manoj Tiwari and Gautam Gambhir. And Congress President Rahul Gandhi will lead Congress's charge in Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. He will hold rallies in Sitapur and in Barabanki. In Madhya Pradesh, Rahul Gandhi will hold a public meeting in Piparia in Hoshangabad. And Aam Aadmi Party Chief and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal will also hold a roadshow in the national capital. And SP, BSP and RLD will hold a joint rally in UP's Barabanki today. The joint rally will be addressed by Akhilesh Yadav and Mayawati. And the Election Commission has imposed a fresh ban on Samajwadi Party leader Azam Khan. Now, he has been banned from campaigning for 48 hours for making inflammatory communal remarks during election campaigning. The ban, which comes into effect from today, is the second ban on Azam Khan in a month. Earlier, he was barred from campaigning for 72 hours for making derogatory remarks against BJP candidate Jaya Prada. And the Election Commission also has banned BJP's Gujarat unit chief Jitubhai Waghani from campaigning for 72 hours for using abusive language at an election meet. Now, Waghani's ban will come into force from 4 p.m. on 2nd of May, during which he will not be allowed to hold public meetings, public processions, road shows and interviews in any part of the country. Waghani violated the poll code while addressing party workers at Amroli in Surat on 7th of April. And the Home Ministry on Tuesday, acting on a complaint from BJP MP Subramaniam Swamy, has asked Congress President Rahul Gandhi to provide factual position of his citizenship. Now, he has been given a fortnight to respond to the notice. BJP MP Subramaniam Swamy has alleged that Rahul Gandhi holds British citizenship.
Congress President Rahul Gandhi has been asked to respond within 15 days to a complaint over his citizenship that claims he is a British citizen. The Home Ministry issued a notice to the Congress chief over his citizenship status on a complaint filed by Rajya Sabha MP and BJP leader Subramanian Swamy. The ministry has asked Rahul Gandhi to intimate it about the factual position on the matter. Reacting to the notice, the Home Ministry has termed the development a normal process.
यदि कोई मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट किसी भी मिनिस्ट्री को कोई पत्र लिखता है तो उस पत्र पर जो भी आवश्यक होता है वो कार्रवाई हर मिनिस्ट्री करती ही करती है, उसको इसी रूप में लिया जाना चाहिए.
Meanwhile, BJP has targeted the Congress party over the issue. Congress also claimed that the entire country knows Rahul Gandhi was born and brought up in India.
राहुल गांधी जी से, जो कि भारत के राजनीति के कांग्रेस पार्टी के एक महत्वपूर्ण व्यक्ति हैं, उनके भारतीय नागरिकता पर संदेह हुआ है, कुछ कंफ्यूजन है और होम मिनिस्ट्री ने उनसे क्लैरिफिकेशन मांगा है. अब देखिए, इफ यू क्रिएट अ कंफ्यूजन यू हैव टू क्लैरिफाई. अगर आपने भ्रम की स्थिति को उत्पन्न किया है, आपने भ्रम की स्थिति को पैदा किया है, तो स्पष्टीकरण भी आप ही को देना पड़ेगा. इसलिए बंधुओं, इसमें कोई राजनीति नहीं है. राहुल गांधी जी ने खुद भ्रम की स्थिति पैदा की है और अब देश उनसे स्पष्टीकरण और क्लैरिफिकेशन चाहता है।
सच्चाई यह है कि ये पूरा देश जानता है, श्री राहुल गांधी जन्म से भारत के नागरिक हैं, सदैव रहेंगे। उनका और उनके परिवार का देश के लिए कुर्बानी का इतिहास है और इस प्रकार के बवंडर और झूठे बयानात देने वाली भाजपा कभी अपने षड्यंत्र में देश का ध्यान भटकाने में कामयाब नहीं होगी।
पूरे हिंदुस्तान को मालूम है कि राहुल गांधी हिंदुस्तानी है, पूरे हिंदुस्तान को मालूम है। उनके सामने पैदा हुआ, उनके सामने उसकी परवरिश हुई, उनके सामने वो बड़ा हुआ, सबको मालूम है।
A few days ago, an objection on the citizenship issue was also raised by an independent candidate against Rahul Gandhi in Amethi. But the returning officer, after scrutiny, declared his nomination papers as valid. Gandhi is seeking re-election from the Amethi Lok Sabha constituency, which goes to polls in the 5th phase of voting on May 6th. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, now let's get to some other news. A senior Andhra politician and three-time MP SPY Reddy passed away on Tuesday. Reddy was suffering from heart and kidney-related ailments, and he was undergoing treatment at a private hospital in Hyderabad since 3rd of April. Three-time Lok Sabha member SPY Reddy was seeking re-election for a 4th consecutive term from Nandyal in Andhra Pradesh recently. He contested as a Janasena party candidate in the polls held on 11th of April. Congress President Rahul Gandhi on Tuesday offered to file a fresh affidavit in the Rafale contempt case. This after the Supreme Court made it clear that the judges were not convinced with his last affidavit that ran into 22 pages, but did not spell out that he regretted his statement. The SC bench, headed by Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi, also observed that in the affidavit filed, at one point the Congress is admitting the mistake and at one point denying making any contemptuous remarks. Rahul Gandhi's counsel, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, in fact admitted to the top court that there were 3 errors in the Congress president's affidavit and said that he will file a new affidavit tendering an apology. The Supreme Court allowed Rahul Gandhi's plea and gave him the opportunity to file another affidavit. The court has now posted the matter for hearing on 6th of May. Now, this would be Rahul Gandhi's 3rd affidavit in the contempt case filed against him by BJP MP Meenakshi Lekhi for wrongly attributing his political slogan against the Prime Minister to the judges.
इसके लिए हमने बड़े स्वतंत्र सीधे रूप से कहा है कि न हमारा कभी इरादा था, न उद्देश्य था, न मंतव्य था और न हम इसको समर्थन करते हैं और इसके लिए हमने रिग्रेट कहा है। अगले 3-4 दिनों में उपयुक्त एक और हलफनामा डालेंगे, एडिशनल हलफनामा, जिसमें हम स्पष्ट कर देंगे कि जहां तक एट्रीब्यूशन का सवाल है हम अपॉलॉजी मांगते हैं, रिग्रेट तो हमने कही दिया है, हम अपॉलॉजी शब्द का भी प्रयोग करेंगे।
And reacting to the development in the top court, the BJP said that Congress President Rahul Gandhi has lost credibility after expressing regret for incorrectly attributing his political remark to the Supreme Court.
जिस प्रकार की एफिडेविट से वो फिर बचना चाह रहे थे, झूठ के माध्यम से फिर एक बार अपने बयानों को बरकरार रखने की प्रयास कर रहे थे, इस प्रकार की ओवर स्मार्ट बनने की जो राहुल गांधी ने जो एक कला अभी तक दिखाई, उस ओवर स्मार्टनेस के लिए उनको फिर एक बार कोर्ट के सामने माफी मांगने की नौबत आई है। और जो सबसे अहम विषय है एक किसी भी राजनेता के लिए, वो है विश्वसनीयता। राहुल गांधी आज पूरी तरह अपनी विश्वसनीयता खो चुके हैं।
And the Supreme Court on Tuesday directed the centre to file its response by 4th of May to the petition seeking review of last December's verdict, which dismissed the pleas challenging India's deal to procure 36 Rafale fighter jets from France. A bench comprising Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi and Justices S.K. Kaul and K.M. Joseph asked Attorney General K.K. Venugopal, representing the centre, that the reply if any, be filed by Saturday and listed the review petitions for hearing on 6th of May. The top court did not allow the centre's submission that the hearing on the 3 review petitions in the case be adjourned, as it wanted 4 weeks to file its response to the pleas. Earlier this month, on 10th of April, the Apex Court had allowed the pleas, which relied on leaked documents for seeking review of its Rafale judgment, and dismissed the government's preliminary objections, claiming privilege over them. The centre had raised objections that these documents were not admissible as evidence under Section 123 of the Indian Evidence Act, and no one could produce them in the court without the permission of the department concerned, as they are protected under the Official Secrets Act as well. Weather updates now. The Met Department has issued a yellow warning for the Odisha coast, predicting heavy to very heavy rainfall at some places ahead of the landfall of Cyclone Fani. The warning issued late on Tuesday night indicates severely bad weather, warning people who are at risk to take preventive action. Cyclone Fani in the Bay of Bengal has intensified into extremely severe cyclonic storm and is likely to make a landfall on the Odisha coastline by early morning on 4th of May. The National Disaster Response Force and the Indian Coast Guard have been put on high alert. Naval aircrafts are also on standby at air stations in Arokkanam, Tamil Nadu and Visakhapatnam to undertake any reconnaissance, rescue and casualty evacuation and airdrop of relief material if required. The fishermen have also been advised not to venture into the deep sea areas of Southeast Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean and off Sri Lanka, Puducherry, Tamil Nadu and southern Andhra Pradesh coast. Light to moderate rainfall is also likely to occur over coastal areas of northern Andhra Pradesh and southern Odisha on Thursday. Rainfall is likely to increase in Odisha and Andhra Pradesh on Friday and Saturday. Meanwhile, the centre on Tuesday also ordered release of 1,086 crore rupees to Odisha, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal and Andhra Pradesh as financial assistance for undertaking preventive and relief measures. Meanwhile, Met Department has also issued a red alert in some parts of Maharashtra's Vidarbha region and central India as the temperatures soared to 47 degrees Celsius in some parts of Vidarbha region and in central India. The highest temperatures were recorded in Akola at 46.9 degrees Celsius, while Nagpur and Amravati both recorded 46.8 degrees Celsius. Many parts of Telangana also faced oppressive heat wave conditions, with Adilabad sizzling at 45.3 degrees Celsius. And market regulator SEBI has cracked whip in the NSE confiscation case. It has directed the exchange of worth over 687 crore rupees to disgorge the profits. SEBI has also imposed a 6-month ban on launching new derivative products, barred some present and past executives from the markets, and initiated strict action against the stockbrokers. The country's largest stock exchange has also been barred from accessing the security markets directly or indirectly for 6 months. Alleged lapses in high-frequency trading offered through NSE's co-location facility came under the scanner of the watchdog after a complaint was filed in 2015. And the growth of 8 sectors improved to 4.7% in March 2019 against 4.5% in the same month last year. For the full 2018-19 fiscal, the expansion rate of 8 infrastructure sectors remained constant at 4.3%. The infrastructure sector also have an impact on the index of industrial production, as these segments account for about 41% of the total factory output. The For top international focus, China says that some progress has been achieved on designating Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar as a global terrorist by the United Nations. China also hoped that the vexed issue will be properly resolved, but it refused to give any timeline. The comments came ahead of the UNSC Sanctions Committee meeting today, where the issue of listing of a Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar as a global terrorist will be taken up. It is noteworthy that China had put a technical hold in the month of March on a proposal to impose a ban on the head of Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed, which claimed responsibility for the Pulwama terror attack. It was the fourth time that China had blocked Azhar's listing as a global terrorist by the United Nations. However, the US, the UK and France this time have stepped up pressure on Beijing by taking the issue directly to the powerful UNSC, while New Delhi has also been engaging separately with Beijing. Akhilesh Suman, our colleague, is now joining us for more on this. Akhilesh, China has said that there are positive progress on the listing of Masood Azhar as a global terrorist. Do you think this is an apparent indication of Beijing actually looking to lift its hold on the sanctioning of Masood Azhar?
Right. Soraya, it is, I think, one of the most important moments in the history of United Nations Security Council in last 5-6 years, when China is giving indication that issue might be resolved. And issue might be resolved means that China may lift the technical hold that they were keeping against blacklisting Masood Azhar. How I am getting from my sources that on 23rd of April, there was meeting in United Nations Security Council, and China wanted, time till mid-May, that after mid-May, they will, make their, intentions clear. But there was pressure from other members of Security Council that make your mind up to 1st May. And up to 1st May, you clear that what you want, what you don't want. So I think China is also under tremendous pressure. Foreign Secretary Gokhale was there in Beijing on 23-24 April, and Imran Khan, the Pakistan Prime Minister, was also there recently in China, and he held talks with Xi Jinping, the Chinese president. Yes. And I think the whole United Nations Security Council is unanimous on the issue of Masood Azhar other than China. So given the fact that India-China relation need to take a new turn, need to go in a much better, orientation, I think China is thinking positively. And by the time 7 p.m., we will come to know that what China is thinking about and what is Chinese intention. But there are positive signals indeed from Chinese side on this issue.
Indeed, very positive signals coming in from China. We have to wait and watch what happens in that UNSC meeting that is going to take place today. And for the first time in 200 years, a Japanese emperor has stepped down from the throne. Japan's much-loved emperor Akihito formally abdicated on Tuesday after over 30 years of rule. 85-year-old Akihito cited health reasons for standing down after recovering from a heart surgery and prostate cancer in recent years. In a rare instance of speaking live on television, the ruler said that he had performed his duties as an emperor with a deep sense of trust and respect for the Japanese people. The emperor is a constitutional monarch and Japan's ceremonial head of state. He is a highly symbolic figure in Japan's Shinto region. His son formally ascended the chrysanthemum throne on midnight, ushering a new imperial era of Ryuwa, which means beautiful harmony, which will last throughout his reign. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day ahead.